Hello everyone, welcome to Jargus Ranger Review. This week we'll be looking at the 12th episode of Super Megaforce, United as One. Now I start off with a favorite Prince Vekar. He's got a little cold, virus from Earth. You know, from the one time he's been on the planet, like 6 months ago. So instead of just getting a medicine like normal, no, they get the monster of the week to steal human happiness, and it'll infuse into his body, and that'll cure him. So our grunt of the week is Desolar, and he gets right to work. Back on Earth, the Rangers are walking by the street, and they see a wedding come out. And Orion, he's got no idea what it is. Now really, buddy? Now really? Did you have to make him that oblivious? Andros, even Tyzon from fucking Operation Overdrive knew what a wedding was. And they were aliens too, but before this new ranger could be educated about the earthling ways, the bride gets her happiness stolen. And what happens is that basically, she just passes out. That's all. That's all we see of it. Of course, everyone runs away, except the rangers, who go into the regular Megaforce modes, and they do the full transformation. Again, 12 episodes in, and they're still relying on their regular Megaforce suit. They don't need them anymore. And even worse, they fight without their weapons. They just try to do it hand to hand. But he's a slippery one, and half the time Orion is not even in the shot fighting him. So rather than be smart and just use their weapons, no, they go into the Super Megaforce forms to use their blasters, which is what they should have done in the first place. But this guy does not waste any time. He makes himself grow on his own. So the episode is just getting started, and already we're having some unique battling going on here. Yeah, the main team uses their legendary Mystic Megazord, but instead of fighting him, he now shrinks himself, and he hijacks the Q-Rex from Orion. He knocks him down. So to shake them up, the Rangers use their Cannonball Blast, and that's enough for Orion to knock him back out. So instead, he runs into the other Megazord. But they already saw that coming, and they blasted him out of there. And they run around and they're inside the Megazord. And what's funny is that there's all a bunch of pipes around in the middle and on the walls. And they're labeled Zord, and it has arrows with all the Rangers colors. I thought that was pretty unique. Most of the time we never see the inside of a Megazord outside of the cockpit. The only other time I can recall about it was the one in Zeo when Billy was an old man. So that's a really long time between that happening. But then he shrinks even smaller and he gets inside Jake's suit, and that makes him all itchy and stuff. So finally he gets out and he blasts a hole through the Megazord from the inside and runs away. And Orion just says, "Oh no." It just sounded so forced. Come on, you're an actor. You can give a better "oh no" than that. See, even mine was a little bit better and I wasn't even trying. So Noah is leading the repairs, with some help of the blueprints from Tensu. And one thing that I noticed is that through the hole in the Megazord, you can see the city, while they're inside it, unmorphed. Means as soon as someone points a camera in there, they'll be able to see who the Rangers actually are. Didn't quite think that one through, did ya? But not all the Rangers are fixing it up. Emma and Orion decide to go after this guy. What better way to bait him out than another wedding? So she just asks him, want to get married? And he's like, what? He still don't get what it is. So they're all dressed up doing a fake wedding, and he's nervous, not knowing what's really going on. So she has to instruct him how to do it. But when he finally comes, she's ready for him and blasts Deathlar's belt. That makes it so he can't change his size of will anymore. So after that, Orion finally lets it go, and that was a nice shot. So now our guy's like, screw it, I gotta finish my mission. He just takes happiness from anywhere. And here comes the most ridiculous part of this whole episode. Even more so than its damn premise at the beginning. First he sees Emma as a cheerleader, and she distracts him trying to get him to join. It's like, here, give me that staff. Oh yeah, I haven't mentioned, his staff is what absorbs all that happiness. But he figures out it's her and runs off. So they chase him through a few other costume changes, and Orion is pretty impressed, so he uses Morpher to take pictures of her. Oh yeah, that's happening. And it repeats for a while. They actually chase him in a cop car somehow, and he actually stops. When he's in alien trying to steal everyone's happiness. He stops. But every time at the last second, he remembers who they are. And finally they're at the park, and Orion sees a kid flying a kite. He thinks it looks cool, but he don't know what it is. Come on, you're even more oblivious than Andros was. And he didn't know a damn thing about Earth either. So the dude finally just steals all the happiness from the kids playing, and they start morphing. For some reason, Emma goes into the regular Megaforce suit instead of Super Megaforce. But she's fighting Sirius now. She gets right in close into him and finally kicks them off and grabs the staff and breaks it, returning everybody back to normal. Then all of our other Rangers show up and go into the Super Megaforce mode. Except for Emma, there's a kid who can't fly his kite, so she uses her old Megaforce wind power to make it fly. And somehow, after just running, they appear in the industrial section with the other Rangers. And our remaining 5 use the Dino Thunder forms to fight. Though it's still pretty even, for the most part. Rangers do have the upper hand. Then Orion uses his Super Mega Gold form to use his finishing attack. And Emma shows up to use a final strike to finally finish him. And the Prince is being pissed off. He's saying he has Rangeritis. Rangeritis. Damn it, Fengar, you're such a dumbass. Anyway, Ghosty is like, yeah, Rangers, since you use the Dino Thunder forms this time, you can combine them with the Q-Rex now. Yeah, so now some legendary Q-Rex Megazord. Got a drill in one hand and a dinosaur head in the other. So they hit him with the drill, and for the finishing attack, called the Transwarp attack. What is this, Beast Wars? It just punches him with the beast head, and that's what destroys him. And that, you know, that giant freaking drill that looks like it can break through something. So that's our battle over, but there's one more thing to do. They're in the aftermath and Orion is showing off all his pics of Emma's cosplay, because why not? Then she comes in and gives him a kite to try out. So the other Rangers are showing him how to use it. They're having a good time. But Gia stands by Emma who's watching. She says she always knows how to make everybody happy. Yeah, because she's a sweet pink ranger, ain't she? And that's how this episode ends. Overall, this was a pretty fun episode. I mean, our monster was a lot different, and so was our premise. Well, actually, no. The monster wasn't too different. We've had them stop human energy before. But given the premise of it, it was just made all the more ridiculous. The real thing that takes us away is Orion, of all things. He really does not have an identity of his own. I mean, with every Ranger we've had in the past season, after a couple episodes, you know what they're all about. You know what kind of behavior to expect from them for the most part. Even Robo Knight, who had half the season to developing his character, you knew what he was like after 1 or 2 episodes with him. But for Ryan, he came up, said he was there for vengeance, then he said no, we're part of the team. After that, he's just blank. He acted silly in 1 episode, then we didn't see him, and the next we see him not knowing what a wedding is, and he's just confused by all this weird Earth stuff. They really should have kept him to be like a more serious character and have him lighten up a bit more. Because really, he's just there. He don't really do anything right now. And that's unfortunate. He has a lot of good potential. But the stuff of Emma and him chasing after that monster with all those costumes, that was just comedy gold. That makes this alone worth watching. I give this an A- episode. So hopefully we'll see something really new in the next episode. But until then, I'm Jargus Ranger, and thanks for watching. And may the power protect you.